Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana, and I am so excited to be celebrating 10 years of meaningful conversations with you. As we step into our new primetime hour, it's such an honor to share this exciting new chapter with you. So whether you're starting your day out, headed to work, or listening from wherever you are, this hour is designed to bring you thoughtful dialogue, fresh insight, and inspiring stories so you can make every moment count. So thank you for being here with me today, and let's dive in. We're here today with special guests, Rhonda and Jason Halbert. Following the huge success of their award-winning bestseller novels Caretaker and Servant, authors R.J. Halbert return with Architect, the powerful final novel in the Goodpasture Chronicles. Jason Halbert is an Emmy and Grammy Award-winning producer and songwriter whose music has reached millions through multiple #1 and platinum-selling albums. With a career spanning over 2 decades as music director and producer for Kelly Clarkson and other notable artists, Jason has also left his creative mark on numerous works in film and television. Rhonda Halbert has spent the past decade as a successful music and television manager, building strong relationships with labels, networks, and producers. She's also a published photographer, music supervisor, passionate cook, garden enthusiast, and spiritual practitioner. So welcome to the show, Rhonda and Jason Halbert.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you for having us. It's always good to be back.
Oh my goodness. Well, what an honor it is to have the both of you and to talk about this new book. Before we dive too much into this, I would love to talk with you about what first inspired the idea behind the Goodpasture Chronicles. I know we've talked about this before, but for folks that are kind of new to your story, can you share that with us?
Sure. It's kind of a sad story, but it's a good product that came out of it. Through 2020 and all the way through 2023, we went through an enormous amount of trauma. I lost my mother at first, and then multiple friends and family members through COVID, like I believe over 12. And then a nephew with a random gunshot to the head through neighbors squabbling, and then at the end of 23 or the beginning of 23, we lost Jason's mother. And then in the middle of all of that, we lost our home to a severe flood to where we actually had to tear the whole house down and start over and rebuild. So in that short amount of time, there was an immense amount of pain and grief that we just did not know what to do with. So we had an encounter with Amy Grant, and she is a big supporter of this brain technology called Cereset, and she recommended it to Jason, and he told me and our family, and we were like, okay, we'll do whatever, because anything that will help us get through this pain, because it was just so bad. And so when it was Jason's turn to do his Cereset treatment, a couple of days in, he comes home and he says, I had this strange story and vision develop in my brain while I was going through that. And so as he's telling me, I realize, oh, this is actually really interesting. So I pull out my phone and I voice memo him. And for about 3.5 hours, we just banter back and forth and discuss this story that started to come out. And it energized us, and it gave us life again. And it also gave us something to help us avoid focusing on our pain and our grief. And that 3.5 hours is what developed into our trilogy.
Oh my goodness. Well, I just applaud the both of you for taking such tremendous grief and being able then to transform it in a way, or to focus in a way on something so positive that has come from this. I know your books have been #1 bestsellers and award winners, multiple award winners. Why don't we start with the first book, Caretaker? Can you share a little bit about Caretaker with us, and then Servant?
Absolutely. As much as the origins of our story are in trauma, the books themselves were actually really fun adventures following this vibrant family. And Caretaker, family of four, is needing a fresh start. And they move from the big city and they find a Tudor manor in the country in New England. And the catch is that this home comes with a caretaker, hence the title. And so the combination of this family adjusting to their new settings, this new house, and this mysterious caretaker set us on a journey that's difficult to talk about without giving lots of spoilers. But we spend Caretaker introducing this family, the mysteries surrounding this house that you're not sure if this house is trying to save them or trying to destroy them. And that tension sets the stage for a journey that ultimately ends up spanning about 2,500 years and multiple generations of family.
Well, and the both of you really interwove this mystery, it's kind of paranormal, mystic kind of adventure. How did this paranormal piece come to be part of this story? Because I know it's such a huge piece.
I am a strong believer in the supernatural, the paranormal, the spirit world, whatever language anybody wants to use to describe it. I do believe that there's something beyond a veil that we see in the physical right now. I've actually encountered it in such interesting ways in previous houses that I've owned that sort of gave me and Jason the inspiration to go, okay, well, we've actually had some very weird and bizarre encounters. Why don't we write that into the story? We're such new authors that we could only write from what we knew. And so we just drew little pieces of our lives that are very weird and very interesting and decided to place it in the storyline because I do think that people find mystery intriguing. I also think that there's a lot of storytelling that you can tell with suspense and mystery and the supernatural. This story is meant to be like an allegory. We like for people to draw from it what they want to draw from it, but to us, it just felt like a fun way to be able to tell an adventurous story, but to also create an intriguing allegory.
And we both wove our individual reactions to the supernatural into this story. I certainly believe in the supernatural as well, but where Rhonda and I differ is she loves seeing it and experience it, and I could do with never seeing anything again the rest of my life. And we've woven that into our characters, into Ian and Liana. They both experience these strange events in their home in different ways, and one is trying to duck his head and not admit it, and the other one is fully embracing it and everything that it has to offer. So that tension has been a fun thing to watch, and then how the children in the story respond to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jason, when you've had any type of what we would consider supernatural or paranormal experience happen, how has your response to that been?
Generally, I just it is so far beyond my understanding, and there's a little bit of fear in whether it's light or dark. I mean, even in several biblical texts and other religions, the first thing an angel says when it appears is "Don't be afraid." Well, I don't think they'd be saying that if there wasn't some fear involved. So that's my general thing, and I believe in giant fish under the sea. That's scientifically proven, and I don't need to go down there and hang out with them. So that's sort of my general thing. But I think, I am joking a little bit, but in a broader sense, you know, we've all been raised in different ways. But my understanding of the supernatural growing up was that it exists out there and we exist here, and it's very rare that they overlap. And what we've learned through this series and the things that we've written is I've become more open to the concept that it's actually everything all the time. They're incredibly connected. And we, a lot of people believe that the supernatural does have an effect on our physical world. But the new angle that we've taken with this series and our worldview is, does our physical world, the things that we do in the physical, can we also have impact into the spiritual world? And that's something that we explore in the series. And as our lives are taking this parallel, life imitates art. And we've seen these things for ourselves as we've explored these themes, that we believe that there are things that we can do in the physical that do affect the metaphysical world.
Well, Rhonda, I know we've had some really great discussions before in regards to how you experience paranormal or just spiritual events. Can you share on that with us?
Sure. I believe that we are spiritual beings clothed in flesh. So I do think that we have connection to the spirit world. I think there are authorities and powers in the spirit world, both good and bad. And I believe that we actually can tap into those things. So for me, I have encountered bad and scary, and I have also encountered extreme beauty and healing and light in the good. So I prefer the good. And so I've in that journey of learning more about it, I've also learned that we as humans, we have more power than we allow ourselves to know and to understand. And in particular, there's the power of word. And I think as we speak, that speech can actually become a command. We can speak life or death. We can speak blessing or curse. The dark side believes this, the good side believes this. So I think we as humans, we need to understand that this is real and that we have those powers. And because we have these powers, we need to be super careful with what we're diving into and what we're doing. But I believe that our words have extreme, beautiful power, but we need to be aware of how powerful it is.
Is that something that's also relayed within the series about how powerful our words are?
Yeah, actually, it is like all the things that are most of the things that I've been learning and applying to my life. I actually tried to write into the book. Again, we're first time authors. Being authors was never really a pursuit of our past. It's just something we kind of fell into, but feel very passionate and excited to be in that stage now. But I believe in the power of the written word. I believe in the power of the spoken word. And so the things that I've learned we both tried to implement that in our own ways. Even though Jason tries to resist it, he still has his way of implementing the spiritual and the supernatural. And then I have my way of doing it. And there's actually some scenes, if you don't mind with us crossing over into book two, called Servant. At the very end, at the climax, really, of Servant, there's a powerful moment where Ian, the father, has a spiritual encounter and he starts to speak in another language. And I purposely put that in there. When I wrote it, I got so excited. Like it felt like catching lightning in a bottle. It felt powerful because I was doing something with these words that actually mean something. And those of us nerds who love multi-layered books dive into that one because there's more layers to it that I want you to find out.
Well, so let's dive into Servant a little bit because, of course, we don't want to give anything away. These books are definitely must reads. They're great books. So, can you share, like, even like the title? Like, where did that come from?
Uh, book one is Caretaker, book two is Servant, and book three is Architect. And I enjoy series, TV, and books that explore the same theme over and over through different angles. And so these titles are trying to do this without spoilers. They're aspects of the same person. And
Mhm.
so there's there's the caretaker aspect of this main character, and then we find out he serves another role as servant, and then ultimately another role as architect. And it ties into the rest of the story and the families and the different roles that each of them have to take on at different points in the story. It's not just the main character that's having to fill these roles, but it's all of them. So how's that for a vague, good answer?
That's good and vague. I like it. I understood exactly what you were talking about. And for those books who have not read Caretaker or Servant, you have to buy the books and definitely start reading them because the next book, Architect. Okay. I mean, in fact, even before I go there, I know me and you had so many people clamoring for Servant when it first, yeah, like when is it going to happen? When is it going to be released? I know even Kelly Clarkson, she was like upset that she didn't have Servant right there to start reading. How was that process of just writing that book and getting it ready for so many people, including myself, that couldn't wait to get my hands on it?
The hardest thing was for us to have the same patience that we're asking other people to have because, like Rhonda said, the entire outline was done in that first 3.5 hours. And so it's very tempting just to get the story out and tell it. And we learned something in Caretaker. I mean, co-authoring is a unique experience, and the push and pull of Rhonda and I wanted to get all the mystery and all the lore out. And she's spending time developing this family and these characters. And it ended up, she was right. We needed you to invest in these characters so that when you had the answers, the payoff wasn't cheap, and you realized what it had cost this family to get to these points. So, getting through the series has been an exercise in patience for us, and I'm so glad. Sorry, Miss Clarkson, that you had to wait, but I'm glad we had to wait because some things came about that drastically changed direction as these characters took on lives themselves, and in our patience and our waiting, we uncovered some things I think has made the series so much stronger for that waiting.
Yeah, I think too. I don't know. Maybe there are people who are going to blow my example here, but it's really hard to be creative all the time. And I think you just have to give yourself that patience. You've got to go and find inspirations, and that could be so much for other people. It could be traveling. It could be, I'm such a foodie. It could be food. It could be visiting with friends. It could be quiet time, whatever it is, but you've got to take care of yourself so that the creativity can build and flow, which then takes me back to what I talked about earlier with Sarah said. There was no way that we would have even created something like this under the pain and the stress and the grief that we were in. All of that squashes your creativity. Your brain needs to be relaxed to create. And so, though we already had the outline, there were just moments that Jason and I needed to wait for those aha magic moments to make that connection happen. And so I don't regret, trying to take our time and waiting for the right moment and putting it out there.
I think all the fans forgive you both for that, so that's okay. I mean, how was it, Rhonda, with writing in a way? Because you both are co-writers, co-authors. So, how did that writing process take place? It would be interesting. It's like, did you write during the day and Jason wrote at night? I mean, how did this go?
Well, as you've implied, he had an interesting daytime job where he worked, sometimes 14, 16 hours a day. And so I did do most of my writing during the day, and most of the time we weren't in the same room because of his job. So he worked a lot in New York, and our home is in Nashville. So I'm the kind of person that I need quiet time. I need to be by myself so that my thoughts don't, stray off. So being in Nashville really helped. And what I would do is once we had the voice memo written up in an outline, which that was a lot of back and forth between me and Jason and through emails. Once I had that, I already knew the general direction and storytelling where we were going. So I would write something up, first chapter, let's say, and then I would send it over to Jason. And while he's in the middle of his work day on stage or whatever, he's reading, that first chapter. And then he'll send back his edits of, okay, that's kind of what I meant, but what if we tried this? And then I would give it another shot. So there was a lot of back and forth through emails, texts, messages, you name it. Like it was very, very unconventional, but it worked for us. And then what I did notice in all three books, that when we had those magic moments, the magic moments happened when we were together. And then it was like catching lightning in a bottle. It was so magical to me. I felt the energy. I got the excitement. The inspiration is flowing. I can't type fast enough. And I'm sure if we had a camera in the room, it'd be hysterical to watch. But those moments were awesome to be able to implement in the book. But the majority of it, we were apart.
Oh my goodness. So for architect, I mean, what an intriguing title. So where did that come from?
Again, it came from the character of, wow, so hard to talk about without spoilers. I feel for when Kelly said celebrities on the couch and they can't talk about their movie, but they have to talk about their movie. So it's this character has had to fulfill these roles, and obviously, the house in this book is a character, And so one aspect is the architect of building the house, but that's not actually the main one. Just like with the other titles, there's multiple meanings for all the words in our book. And like Rhonda said, the words matter. On one level, we are revealing the role of the architect of this house, but we're also revealing the role of the architect at a much deeper level.
The family is going through supernatural encounters all throughout all three books. And the third book really like exposes all of that and shows you, behind the curtain what's going on. And I think the title is alluding to how this all got started. So it takes you back to the beginning and you go on the journey of where the root of this was and um, the mystery behind it and what is happening to the family.
Yeah, it's been interesting as we've finished the series, the three books are out, and as we've discussed on the Kelly Show and other outlets, we're in the process of taking this to TV series, and we're in development for that. And so we're reviewing all the books. And in Caretaker, in the very first chapter, if you missed it the first time, it's worth a reread. What seems like a throwaway line, Liana is leaving Boston with her family, and she looks in the mirror and has a vision. But when you're driving, all our mirrors on the side mirror say objects in mirror are closer than they appear. And that set the tone for the entire series. It's not a literal thing. It's the things that we think we've dealt with in our past or the things that have happened in our families for generations. Those things are actually much closer in our minds and our spirits than we understand. And Architect is the ultimate payoff. Even though we've spanned 2,500 years, the consequences of things set in motion 2,500 years ago are much closer than they appear for this family. And so it's satisfying to tie that entire piece together.
Well, I don't even know what to say after that. My goodness. Other than I love this series. Well, and can you share with us the main characters? I know you have several, but why don't you share with us the main characters in this story?
So we have Ian, who's the father, and Liana, the mother. Ian and Liana are childhood friends that grew up together in Kentucky, but they grew up on opposite sides of the tracks, so to say. And then they get married at a very young age and start off on their lives. They have two children, Ariel and Zach. Typical teenagers, you experience the female teenager to the fullest in these books. And then Zach is I think our surprise hero for me and Jason as we started writing the book. Zach was not intended to be the hero, and then he became the hero, which was so enlightening for me and Jason. We've always heard those phrases from other authors that the characters take on their own lives. And I used to go, yeah, you write the characters. Of course they don't. You're doing this. And then I experienced it and I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand. So Zach becomes our unexpected hero, and he's actually on the autism spectrum. We we have people in our lives that are on the spectrum. My son is on the spectrum. And so we have a lot of experience with that. And there are some beautiful, incredible traits that come from that. And we tried to take those traits and use that to not only describe Zach, but to give him his superpowers that gives him the ability to be the hero in this. Then you have the caretaker himself. His name is Marshall. Marshall, he might be my favorite because he's so deep and he's mysterious, and you just don't know, is he your friend or is he thwarting what's going on? And that is left lingering throughout the whole space, but I love to see his story resolved. And then we do have like townspeople and um, there's a sweet character named Lloyd who just becomes the family friend, and he steps up when crisis happens. And don't we all wish that we had a Lloyd in our life that steps up and brings food when you need it, or you've just been in the hospital, or whatever. That was the point of Lloyd, was to talk about the beauty of community. And Jason and I could not have survived these last few years without our community. So it was actually really important to write someone like that in this series as well.
I think that's so inspiring. And then who knows, maybe people will be inspired to show up as a Lloyd for other people, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope so.
Do you often get fans saying that after they've read Architect, that they actually go back and reread Caretaker because then they're picking up different parts of the story that they didn't get otherwise?
Absolutely, we actually get that a lot, and it's rewarding because we wrote the book at three different levels. You can read the book at face value and just enjoy the story and the process. And a lot of people find on their second read they start to see hints of some deeper meanings and things they can see in their own lives. And then at third reading, you can really get a much deeper mystical sense of what's happening in these stories. So yes, we get that a lot from people.
And if you like to research, there's so many hidden clues. There's hidden clues on the back covers. There's hidden clues with each name actually means something and it's actually alluding to their story. And so if you like stuff like that, go back in and do the research because it adds a whole nother colorful layer.
There's lots to be discovered there. And I know that you guys had a readers society that people could have been a part of. Is that going to continue at any point?
We actually have continued it. So the last official meeting, if you join our Ouroboros Society when we release our books, we let the society read the book weeks before it's coming out, and we all read in our own time. But then we come together once a week and we talk about it, and we actually reveal a lot of the mysteries through their questions. We've so enjoyed it, and we've become such connected people in our group. This is that community idea that Jason and I love so much that we've just met again last week just for fun. And I'm actually hoping that we continue it, and we're investing in each other's lives, and we're keeping everybody up to date on the development of the TV show. Also, at the end of Architect, we leave a little teaser that there's a new spin-off series that we will start on and develop called The Adventures of a Colo. And we talk about that with them. So they kind of get the fun and the insights and the secrets. And at this point, now that we know they've read all three books, they can pretty much ask us anything and we'll reveal the truth, unlike this radio show.
That's okay. That's okay. That's why they have to be part of the group. Well,
Exactly.
and so, I mean, congratulations on working on having this optioned for a series. I mean, that's very exciting. I can't wait to hear more about that. Is that just in the beginning stages?
It is, but we've actually got a lot of interest. So we've already been meeting with some showrunners. We've got a couple of more coming up, and we've got a script writer interested, and we've already been working with another script writer. And so, yes, it's in the beginning stages, but yes, it's moving forward. It's not just a dream right now. It's actually turning into product, which I believe is the hardest part. And now we're seeing that ball start to roll. So we're really excited about the momentum.
Well, congratulations to you both. I can't wait to see that. I know probably going to be coming soon, but for folks like me, and maybe even Kelly feels the same way, I don't know. She's probably going, when can I see it?
It'll be exciting to reveal it to her. We'll send her a link.
I'm sure we all want that. Well, my goodness. So where can people go to learn more about, getting the entire series if they haven't picked it up yet, and just be part of your community so that they learn more about what's happening next?
Yeah, the easiest place to go is rjhalbert.com. We've just revamped the entire website and everything you need to know about the series, about us as authors, and to join our community is there. And there's lots of great and exciting things there that you won't find anywhere else. So it's rjhalbert.com. And if that's hard to remember, just go to Amazon and you can look up our books there, Caretaker, Servant, or Architect.
And you can get the books anywhere books are sold. We're available on everything from Barnes and Noble to Books A Million to Amazon to RJ Halbert.
All these great places. Well, Rhonda and Jason, thank you both so much for taking the time to be on the show with us here today.
Man, thank you so much for inviting us back.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. And I know with your California audience, I'm sure there's a few producers and writers out there. And if you'd like to know more, reach out to us as we develop this. And,
Yes.
and we'll be on there. Hopefully, we'll be back on soon talking about our show with you, Marian.
Well, I cannot wait for that. Make sure to visit their website at rjhalbert.com for more information. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Mary Ann, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Mary Ann is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Mary Ann will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmaryann.com for more information.